1989, the oil tanker Exxon Valdez struck Brine Reef in Prince William Sound, Alaska, causing one of the worst environmental disasters in U.S. history. The Exxon Valdez was a 987-foot-long oil tanker operated by Exxon shipping companies transporting crude oil from the Trans-Alaska Pipeline Terminal in Valdez, Alaska, to refineries on the west coast. The ship was navigating through the icy waters of Prince William Sound when it struck the submerged Brine Reef due to the combination of human errors and poor regulatory oversight, marking the beginning of an extensive and harmful pollution event that would reverberate through the ecosystem for years to come. As much as 11 million gallons of crude oil was discharged into pristine waters, causing the spill of oil spread over 1,300 miles of the coastline and affect thousands of miles of ocean to widespread ecological devastation and long-lasting consequences for the region, marine life, and coastal communities.
So, the Exxon Valdez oil spill in 1989 highlighted critical failures in maritime safety management, where this disaster was primarily caused by human errors, poor crew training, and a failure to follow navigational protocols, leading the tankers to collide with Brine Reef in Alaska's Prince William Sound. The spill reveals serious gaps in safety systems, including the poor communication, lack of coordination, and inadequate vessel tracking, which delayed the response and worsened the impact also. In response, Marine Exchange of Alaska was established to prevent such disasters from recurring. Funded by the Exxon Valdez settlement, this non-profit organization developed an advanced vessel tracking system, leveraging real-time monitoring and artificial intelligence. This system enables rapid identification of risks, ensuring quick responses to prevent the accidents. The Marine Exchange also enforces a 15 nautical mile buffer zone for large vessels, providing a critical safety margin to prevent grounding if a ship breaks down. Their continuous improvement efforts, especially regarding increased Arctic shipping, demonstrate their commitment to maintaining high safety standards. Collaboration with the Alaska legislature and the Coast Guards ensures that their protocols align with international maritime safety practices. Through these measures, the Marine Exchange of Alaska has significantly improved maritime safety, setting the standards in the field also.
The Exxon Valdez oil spill was one of the most catastrophic environmental disasters affecting Prince William Sound in Alaska. The spill released 11 million gallons of crude oil, leading to devastating effects on marine life and ecosystem. Immediate response efforts, including deploying booms, skimmers to contain and recover the oil. Chemical dispersants were also used to break down the oil, though their potential toxicity raised the concerns. Despite these efforts, the scale of spill and harsh weather conditions limit the effectiveness of the cleanup. The environmental impact was severe. Thousands of marine animals died, including sea otter, seal, seabirds, and the local fishing industry suffered due to the long-term damage to fish population, particularly herring and salmon. The oil that settled on the seabed creating lasting damage, with some species still not fully recovered decades later. So in response, the US Congress passed the Oil Pollution Act of 1990, which introduced stricter regulation, such as the requirement for double hull tankers and the establishment of the Oil Spill Liability Trust Fund. This act also emphasized the need for regional contingency plans to improve the preparedness of future spills. So this overall disaster highlights the importance of long-term environmental monitoring and research, which continue to inform better oil spill response strategies today. The lessons learned have driven the significant advancement in protecting marine environments, but the lasting impact of the spill is still a reminder of the fragility of these ecosystems.
In the first 24 hours following the Exxon Valdez oil spill on March 24, 1989, various stakeholders including the US Coast Guard, Alaska Pipeline Service Company and the state of Alaska launched efforts to address the disaster. However, these efforts were marked by significant delays and challenges. The US Coast Guard was quick to respond with the captain of the port in Prince William Sound, activating the pollution action plan and deploying the officers to assess the situations. Recognizing the severity of the spill, they requested the additional support from the Pacific Area Strike Teams. Alaska Pipeline Service Company, responsible for the initial cleanup, faced the immediate hurdles. Their response was delayed because the key equipment was unprepared. A contingency barge, which was supposed to be ready with the oil spill response gear, took 10 hours to prepare instead of planned 2.5 hours. Plans to transfer the oil from the damaged tankers to another vessels were also delayed due to the time needed to gather the necessary equipment. The state of Alaska responded by establishing an emergency response center in Valdez by the evening of the spill. The Alaska Department of the Environmental Conservation (ADEC) monitored the situation and expressed the concern over the Alaska delay, even prepared to have the federal on-scene coordinator to take over if the Alaska didn't act swiftly. Efforts to directly mitigate the spill, such as using the chemical dispenser and the in-situ burning, were tested but faced the challenges. Conditions were not favorable for the dispenser, and in-situ burning was delayed because neither Alaska nor Exxon had the necessary fireproof foam on hand.
When it comes to recommendations, enhanced crew training and certification is important. All crew members, particularly those in critical roles like navigation, should undergo rigorous training that includes simulations of emergency scenarios. Also, enforcing strict certification requirements is also important, which ensure that crew members are only qualified to operate critical systems in the ship. Second recommendation is fatigue management, which includes implementing and enforcing regulations that limit the number of hours that crew members can work, ensuring they have adequate rest to avoid fatigue-related issues. Also, regularly monitor crew's schedule and enforce penalty for companies that violate work hour regulations can also be recommended under fatigue management. Third recommendation is advanced navigational and safety technologies. Equip all oil tankers with latest GPS, radar, and automatic identification systems to provide accurate real-time data on the vessel's position and nearby hazards. Furthermore, ensure that all critical navigation and safety equipment has functional backups to mitigate the risk of equipment failure. Lastly, strict regulatory oversight and enforcement. Regular unannounced safety inspections should be conducted to ensure that ships are compliant with international safety standards and properly maintained.
In all, nearly 11 million gallons of crude oil devastated this remote and biologically productive body of water. Hundreds of thousands of birds, mammals, and other marine organisms were killed or injured. In response to the spill, Congress enacted the Oil Pollution Act in 1990. Now, as tankers pass through Prince William Sound, they are monitored by the U.S. Coast Guard via satellite and are accompanied by 2 escort vessels. All tankers must have double hulls by the year 2015. Contingency plans must now include a scenario for a spill of 12.6 million gallons, training drills, and rapid notification of incidents. 25 years later, NOAA scientists continue to monitor the areas affected by the Valdez spill and use this knowledge to refine their approach to future spills. One of the most significant advancements is IRMA. It's an online tool that gathers all sorts of data like ocean currents and weather, current ship locations, and the predicted path of the oil in real time. This data is layered on a single map with the resources that may be damaged. These maps give emergency managers the information they need to make better decisions when responding to a spill. IRMA played a critical role during the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. These maps helped coordinate emergency response efforts across federal, state, and local partners. And they've been valuable to assessing the injuries to fish, wildlife, surrounding habitats, and the public use of those resources. Oil spills will always pose a major threat to marine life, our beaches and wetlands, and our livelihoods. And NOAA will continue to refine these tools and develop new technologies to improve how we respond to these disasters.